Hi everyone, John Davenport here from Photogrammetry.com with another Let's Edit video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to, start pretty similar to the rest of the videos where I take you through my editing process. But then towards the end of the video, what I'm going to do is show you a few different things that we can do using the graduated filter tool. And I hope that you'll like what I show you. They're going to be a little bit more artistic. I've kind of been trending in that direction with the textures and everything lately, but I've been just trying to do things differently just for a little while. Don't worry. I mean, I do definitely like the very standard photo as well. I've just been applying different things and kind of experimenting, and I'm kind of showing you how I do it along the way. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually drop in one of these graduated filters. As you normally see here in a photo like this, you want to bring the foreground back in. So I'm going to, do exactly that. And then I'm going to come over here to the adjustment brush tool, and I'm just going to paint in really quickly along this tree line because I think it could stand to be just a little bit brighter. You can see right now I have my exposure raised quite high, and that's just giving me kind of a guideline of where I'm painting in. I'm going to go through with the erase tool in a second and just kind of fix everything, and then we'll fix the levels a little bit here. So here I am now with my eraser selected. You can see that my flow is actually down pretty low as well, so that means that I have to paint over quite a lot for it to actually have a full effect. So I'm just going to paint in here in the grass that kind of was too bright, and then again I'm going to do something very similar up here in the cloud area, in the sky, and just kind of bring this back to where I need it to be. It's kind of just touch and feel. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my brush up a little bit. I'm also going to bring the exposure down, and now I'm going to bring the shadows up and then kind of just tweak this a little bit here, something like this, and then maybe just paint over just a little bit really quickly just to kind of blend it all together. It's something that I find once you do this a few times, you'll just kind of get a feel for it and you won't even notice. So as you can see, we've already come a mile from where we began. So now I'm going to hop here down into our basic tab, and I'm going to drop the exposure just a little bit, add a little bit of contrast, drop the highlights a little bit, and then maybe just a little bit of shadow detail as well. You know what, I'm actually going to raise the exposure a little also. Kind of want it a little bit brighter. I think other than that, it's pretty good. We're in good shape. So that's looking good. Maybe add a little bit of clarity, a little bit of vibrance, and then I'm going to actually come down here to the HSL tab, and I'm going to drop the saturation of the greens just a little bit, just because I think that grass is just has a little too much punch for me. So now, I think overall, I think this is a pretty good before and after. We've really kind of brought this photo back, but there's more that we can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a new graduated filter here. And so, there's a few different things that we can do. The first thing I'm going to show you is how you can actually add a little bit of a fake the drama of your sunrise. So, we have a pretty decent sunrise going on here. We got some colors, we got some clouds and stuff, but Lightroom does give you the power to use the temperature controls with your graduated filter, so you can effectively make your sunrises a little bit more dramatic than they originally were. I'm not sure if that's your style or not, but I just wanted to let you know that it is an option for you. Really quickly, I am going to go through and just clone these dust spots out and let you guys know that my camera is being cleaned, so this should not be a problem in the future. But they do drive me nuts. I really don't like that one there. Let's go let's change this to a hue and see if that fixes it. And there we go, it disappeared. Okay, so, you know, that's one thing. You know, now here's our before, here's our after. It's a little bit more interesting. The next thing I'm going to show you is you can leave this in or you can delete it. I'm just going to leave it in, and I'm going to come in from the left hand side this time. And this time I'm going to drop my saturation to 0. So now what we have is this half black and white, half color image. And you can really set this up any way you want. When I was playing around with this earlier, I kind of liked it at an angle, something like this. Maybe I'll drag it over a little bit. I can also shrink it down a little bit to make it a little bit more of a dramatic change. So that's another one that you can do, which is kind of cool. It's a cool effect that you can have. The next one that you can do, which we'll also do on this photo, is kind of adding a fake tilt shift effect. So I'm going to drop 2 in here, and we're going to go in from the bottom left hand corner and the top right hand corner. And for these ones, I'm going to drop the clarity and the sharpness slider down to 0 on both of them. And what this effectively does is it just kind of adds a fake blur, if you will, to the far edges of these. And then obviously the center of the frame is still sharp. Now there's one more that I want to show you, and that's kind of how you can create a very customized vignette. It works okay on this photo, but what I'm actually going to do is jump over to our Let's Edit number 2, and I've already kind of put it in for you, but I'll bring it up here and I can show you what I did. So we have our 4 graduated filters here. These 2 here are very standard. They just come in from the right. I'll change it around here so you can see where they are applied. They come in from the sides here, and I've just kind of dropped them down. Now this, you might wonder how it's creating the vignette here. So what we did, or what I did, was I dropped this one in first, this one down at the bottom. And this one, as you can see, is actually a positive exposure. So you can see here, it actually affects everything above it. And it raises the exposure of everything from here up. This one, on the other hand, is actually dropping the exposure, again, in the same manner. It's just dropping it from the middle of the frame. So basically, this graduated filter here in the middle of the frame is canceling out the added effects of this one that is below it, because this one here is, if I'm making any sense now, I know this is kind of confusing, but so this one here affects everything from the bottom up, and this one again affects everything from the midpoint up, except that the one in the middle here is actually dropping the exposure, and the one in the bottom is raising the exposure. So effectively they cancel each other out towards the top. And what we end up happening is a nice little vignette style thing here that you can actually have a lot of control over. You can change it by moving any of these around. You can go really crazy with your white balance again. You can have something do very black and white on the edges, which is kind of cool as well. There's so much that you can do, and there's so many different ways that you can edit these photos that I think the graduated filter tool can add a lot to your workflow. So again, I know this was kind of a lot to follow. It was a big chunk for a video and for a Let's Edit. I definitely encourage you to rewind it and watch it again if you didn't get it all. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, and if this was your first video, thank you for watching first of all, and please don't forget to subscribe to Photography on YouTube. I'll have more videos coming out soon. Thanks again. I'll see you later. Bye for now.